Hey there. My name is Chris Adams, president of Adams Technology Group and the Smatotech team. And I just wanted to shoot this video and talk about one of the hot topics I hear a lot of people talking about, and that's scalability in regards to kind of what's going on with, supply chain issues and human resource issues. In other words, it's hard to find good people. So in this quick video, I'm going to talk about what Smatotech does from a scalability standpoint. And let me just put some context around this. So one of our large customers, CFO, Steve, asked me a really important question. And it was, we had just moved them to their new campus. I don't know how big this thing is, like 4 or 5 acres. We pulled in all their fiber, put in all new servers, put in all new switches, did the whole works for them, and we still do obviously their engineering and their help desk. But as Steve and I were touring the campus, after we kind of got them moved in and did their soft opening, Steve asked me a very important question about, Chris, how is it that you provide such great customer service and IT services to us? How are you going to continue to provide that service as you grow, right? As you scale? And I'm going to answer that question, right? And I'm going to do it in the context of what happens in our office every Friday at 11:30. We do our weekly operations meeting. And what's cool about this meeting was I was not here. So I had one of the guys run the meeting, and I do this regularly. And I just debriefed with Jeremy, and there were some really cool things that came out of this debrief because we're always in a feedback loop, right? Feedback from not only our external customers, but from our internal customers. And this is going to be feedback from Jeremy about, okay, how did the meeting go on Friday? And this is going to tie right into, this is how we scale. So we have our standard operations meeting template, okay? Number one, we always open up the meeting with someone reciting what our vision statement is. Then we have someone talk about our vision statement, and then we popcorn around the table and we pick one of our pillars, right? So we have pillar number 1, which is network security, business productivity, customer service, right? And then people. Every one of our guys knows and has memorized all that stuff, okay? And then after we get done with that, then we go around and we do what we call celebrations, right? And these are really, really powerful things, right? And celebrations are something that one of the guys did personally, right? Whether it's in work or out of work, right? Shez right now has been celebrating coming off knee surgery. He's been out doing some running, right? So he's obviously been doing that. Justin's been working hard on our network security platform. In fact, we've got an announcement coming out on layer 11. Anyway, we go around all this other stuff. Now, what also is really cool is someone might have a celebration for someone else, right? So Jeremy might have a celebration for Eric. Eric might have a celebration for me. I might have a celebration for whatever, right? It's a really powerful way, because one of the things that I don't think we do in our organizations enough and in our personal lives, to be honest with you, is we don't celebrate enough, right? We don't give ourselves credit for the little things that we're doing, right? And the thing about it is, if we're not doing the little things, right, then those little things are what lead up to the bigger things. Understand? It's just not the big top line revenue goal or market share or stuff like that, right? It's the little things that we do. So celebrations are really powerful. Okay, now as we get into the meeting, now we get into what our feedback loop is, right? This is really important. Feedback loop is it's 3 steps. It's what's working, what's not working, and what can we do to be better. And I'm not gonna kind of go into what that is, but there were some really cool things that came out of that. But I want to specifically talk about what came out with the conversation with Jeremy, right? And Jeremy's takeaway from running the meeting was very simple. Number 1, the ability for us to have conversations, hard conversations, around the conference room table. And the thing for me is, what I teach my guys is, the events are neutral, okay? What gives the event momentum is the reaction, right? And I'm not saying that we're never not going to react, right? And one of the things that we teach here is this concept of the power of the pause, right? And I'm not going to go into that. I'll save that for another video. But it's the time it takes for you to not react, right? Process what's going on and then response, right? Listen, this is really important for us because we're in the world of IT. When people call us, right, they're pretty frustrated, right? And they can be, emotions can be a little bit elevated, okay? Now, a lot of our customers have called into us a lot of times, and they don't have the same stigmatisms as they would do with other IT shops. They know that they're going to call into us and we're going to get them taken care of. But some people still call in because they're frustrated, right? And we get that. The thing for us is, we understand that. We know it's not about us. We know the system or the problem is neutral, and we're not going to react to that. Okay, so that was one of the cool things. Now, with the event being neutral, right, we still have to have a way for us to have conversations for us to get better, okay? And I want to think about this, right, and the concept, right? So one of the really cool things I thought that King Arthur did with the knights was, he had knights of the round table, right? And this concept of everyone came to the table and they were on equal. It's kind of the same concept that we do with our conference room table, right? And quite frankly, we could probably be doing it with our families in our dining room tables, right? Where is it that we can come together as a family? Where is it that we can come together as an organization and just have conversations, right? Conversations where I can speak to, my feelings and what worked and what didn't work, right? And just putting it out on the table without judgment, without blame, without all of these toxic emotions that really slow down organizations, right? So on every Friday at 11:30, we get to kind of purge that, right? We just put the events on the table and we get to work through them. And I thought that was really cool from Jeremy, from an observation standpoint, the fact that, listen, those things are just neutral, right? We have internal customers, which are employees, and we have external customers, right? We're always talking about this. We serve two customers. The most important customers that we serve are each other, right? Our internal customers. And through this meeting, we get to do that, right? It's just not, we just don't say it. We just don't say people over profits, right? It is people over profits. We have a way for us to work through this stuff. It's very important, right? So that was kind of the number one observation that Jeremy has, the fact that he loves the fact that, listen, we come together, we're just going to have, conversations, hard conversations, right? But the way that we handle those things, right? So that's the second thing that I wanted to talk about, was this concept of everyone understands what our vision and our mission and our core pillars are, right? And we get to go through the work. But one of the things that Jeremy wrote down or talked to me about, and I wrote down here, was it's a difference between knowing what our pillars are and being what our pillars are, right? Sometimes we as CEOs and presidents and as engineers and as dads and as husbands and friends, that we get so caught up in the do, right? Maybe you roll through a task list, right, or a to-do list, and you look at, what did I get done today? And I personally went through this too, right? Because as you can imagine, I'm kind of a doer. But as through my leadership journey, it's really also important to understand who you get to be when you're doing those things, right? And one of the pillars that we have here is people, right? And the first sub-pillar on that is empowerment, right? We love to empower our customers, right? We ask them, we give them the facts, and we ask them, what do you want to do? What's best for you? And they love that. The other thing that I talked to Jeremy about is, what does empowerment look like in our organization? And we do a lot of that, right? I mean, we make a lot of decisions in our organization, but we really make them together as a team. It's one of the ways that we continue to innovate, right? We innovate from the supply side, from the demand side, not from the supply side. And I'm not going to get into that, but that's a really interesting thing. But basically, we innovate based on the things that our customers need from us. It comes from this operations meeting because we're always listening, right? We're always listening to what our customers are saying. We're also listening to what our employees are saying. That's what I'm doing, right? That's what Jeremy got to do during the meeting. It's really powerful. So it's not so much what you know and what you do, it's who you get to be when you're accomplishing those things. Are you being kind? Are you being compassionate? Are you being empathetic, right? Empathy is really important, and it's a sub-pillar in pillar number 3 for customer service, right? We have to be empathetic when we're dealing with problems. Anyway, so that's how we scale, right? Because the thing that I asked Jeremy is, how were you, right? How was it for you to lead the meeting? And it's important for me to understand that, because I said to Jeremy, I said, listen, you leading that meeting, right, with the operations, right? We're a small, powerful firm, right? We got 9 guys. But as we grow and scale, it's important for Jeremy. He's going to have his own team, right? He's going to have his own team. This is the template, right? Whether he's talking to us or he's talking to his own team, it's still the same thing. And those things that he's going to be talking about are going to be in 100% alignment with what we're doing. So that's the secret for us in scaling. My job, right? My job isn't just to sign, checks. My job isn't to just, hire people and listen. My job is to build leaders. That's how we scale, right? We do this, if I'm not going to be here, someone else is running the meeting, which gives them an opportunity to lead, right? And that's how we scale. Right now, I have no idea what the next 6 months is going to look like for us. But I will tell you, we have the processes in place now to handle all that growth, because we focus on taking care of our internal customers. We have this feedback loop that we're looking at all of our processes, right? Because when we look at those things, that's what makes us better, right? It's this constant feedback loop of everything that we do. It's not so much, the second part of that is, it's not so much what we do, it's who we get to be when we're doing it, right? So that's kind of the interesting thing that we do for our operations meeting. I will say this, right? Our door is always open. You want to come into our office and you want to sit down, you want to just see how it rolls. You're more than welcome to do that. You shoot me a note, cadams@smattech.com, or you can pick up the phone and call me and say, hey, Chris, you know what? I think that's really interesting. Could I come in and see how you roll, and could we talk about it? Absolutely, right? Because I think one of the things that we have to understand as owners, CEOs, presidents, whatever title you want to call yourself, what we are is we have an opportunity for us to really create an environment to make people better people, right? I want my guys to be the best versions of themselves, right? Because if I can help them, right? Let's talk about the ripple effect. Let's talk about vibration, right? Not to get off topic real quick, but this is powerful. If I can teach, Jeremy or any of the guys to be a better person, right? To understand the difference between reacting and responding. How do you think that that's going to roll out in his personal life? Not just here, right? Is that going to make his personal relationships better with his parents, with his, family, with his friends? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what we have in our organizations. We have an incredible platform to help people be better people. And the thing is, as us as leaders, when we help people be better people, everyone wins. Everyone. And I think that's kind of really powerful. Anyway, so that's kind of the answer, right? How do we scale? This is how we scale. We're always in a constant feedback loop. I'm always building leaders. I'm helping people be better people. I believe that everyone is a leader of one. You are a leader of yourself. And if you just spend time making sure that you're being the best version of who you can be, the world is going to be a better place for that. Your workplace is going to be a better place for that. Your family is going to be in a better place for that. So anyway, that's what I got from a leadership standpoint, from a scalability standpoint, from a humanity standpoint. Let's get out there as owners, as presidents, as CEOs, and help people be the best versions of themselves. Thanks. Talk to you soon.